Hi, my name is Olivier and I'm a Yuhang broadcaster. Almost 9 years ago I settled down in Hangzhou and Yuhang, and there were lots of reasons for that. Of course it's a beautiful place, but there is another reason which is really important to me. It has a very long history and culture. Of course the most famous of all is the Liangzhu culture. It has over 5,000 years of history. There is another one which is the Jingshan tea culture, which is also about 1,000 years old, and more than that. So it's not surprising that this place, Yuhang, is called a sacred location of Chinese culture. It's a very important place in China's cultural pantheon. Today, I will bring you to two places which are very representative of that culture, and I'm sure you will enjoy them a lot. Let's go. Here we are. As the World Heritage Committee said, this is where more than 5,000 years ago the capital of a regional state was located. We call it Liangzhu. This state was supported by rice farming and also possessed a unified faith. The capital is just behind me. Let's get in. Liangzhu culture is rich in historical artifacts, such as jade, stone, pottery, lacquer wood, and other precious relics, organized in more than 600 different groups of exhibits. The site of Liangzhu, ancient city, where archaeological research conducted for decades has demonstrated that Chinese civilization traces back to 5,000 years ago. The site used to be the center of Liangzhu's power and faith. It was included in the World Heritage List in 2019. Liangzhu culture was very complex and highly developed. 3 words can help us to have a basic understanding of this culture. The first word is city. The capital of this regional state constituted a large-scale city, displaying a very impressive level of construction for the time. And these used to be the structure of the buildings they built at the time. It's hard to believe that this was about 5,000 years ago. This is quite advanced. Must have been also pretty resistant to rain, wind, etc. The interesting thing in this place is that it really makes you go back in time. You can try to imagine the way they lived, which is a long time ago, 5,000 years. I guess this is where they were cooking, so that's clearly a place where you can have a fire to burn things. And this one, I would guess, was to store food or maybe wood. The second one is water. Liangzhu water conservancy system was complex and sophisticated. It was far ahead of the rest of the world at that time. As you can see behind me, the reason why the Liangzhu, this country, was so developed, and also in terms of agriculture, is because they had mastered waterworks. The third is jade. The jade artifacts of Liangzhu culture, such as cong, pi, and battle axe, were among its most outstanding material achievements. The quality, quantity, size, and variety of these artifacts, as well as their carving techniques, were without equal in prehistoric China. They are working hard, and they did that for hundreds and hundreds of years. I really like the way they did it. I think it's quite nice. They preserved the whole environment. There is still so much to dig out here, but it's being done really progressively. We also see this kind of little elevation. This, I think, was quite important at the time. I'm not sure whether these were used religiously or for other purposes, but it was all not just for no purpose. I wonder how this looked like 5,000 years ago. Hello， 大家好，我是爱喝茶的老陆。你们猜我今天喝什么样的茶呢？我相信你们已经知道了，这个就是净山茶。Here is one of my favorite places in Yuhang, Jingshan. This is a place where tea started to be grown during the Tang dynasty. It really thrived during the Song dynasty. During that dynasty, there was a very famous writer called Lu Yu, who wrote a book, a very, very famous book, the Book of Tea. He was a bit considered like the father of tea, the first one to really research tea and write in a very systematic way about which kind of teas should be prepared in which way, and he really left an imprint on Chinese history. Jingshan is first of all famous for its green tea, but there is also what is called in English black tea, actually called red tea in Chinese. Something that not many people know, Japanese green tea comes from Jingshan. Monks came to Jingshan to study Buddhism. They brought back not only sutras, they also brought back tea. They grew it in Japan, and this is what we know now as Japanese green tea. So its origins lie here in Jingshan. The ancient Chinese poet Li Bai once wrote in a poem, 今人不见古时月，今月曾经照古人. The ancient and fascinating Liangzhu culture, which was created 5,000 years ago and thrived for hundreds of years, has been extensively researched for several decades. This exceptional culture still has a lot to reveal, but what is clear is that it achieved a degree of development unparalleled at the time. If you have the opportunity to travel in the region, you should definitely come to Yuhang and see for yourself. I am 爱喝茶的老陆, and I'll be waiting for you.